move into it, keep lots of holes, and you see it in the sample, so everything's sort of compromised and undermined.
Underwater, the divers are completing a survey of the site. It can be a very difficult work environment.
The harder the camera is running, the harder it is for you to work. Because you're operating in 3 dimensions. It's not just on a flat surface, you're up and down as well. So it's a challenge to the diving. It's the whole point of this.
The ancient timbers are photographed and each piece logged and tagged. The divers then start to bring them to the surface.
This is the sort of material that we've got on the seabed. And see what they've done is they have got this timber and they've sliced it. So it's flat from one side, and on the other side it's sort of bark, another one there. And they sort of overlaid them to form a sort of layer or platform on the seabed.
The specific purpose of these timber platforms is still unknown, but Gary has a working hypothesis.
We know it was a wet ground here, but boggy, so they would have been, would have been a nice platform to stand on, walk on the dry area, for whatever activity they might have been doing.
These Mesolithic people seem to have constructed something quite permanent. This is clearly much more than just a temporary camp. It challenges our ideas about Mesolithic hunter-gatherers as nomads always on the move.
These things are very rare because this was a hunter-gatherer society that was known to move around the place. But here we got one that's more like a settlement. It's more like there's been a lot of time invested in this particular site. Well, it would have been a special place to live at the time. It would have been a nice little sheltered valley. You're very near sources of flints, just in the chalk cliffs. You've had wildfowl, you've had the vegetation, a place that you could probably live all year round.
Over the course of the day, the divers have been steadily bringing up the whole Mesolithic platform, piece by piece.
Flipping hell.
Coming up from the last
It's a job and a half.
Gary brings up the final parts.
But it'd be worth it. And could it possible, maybe it maybe might be to refit the pieces back together.
One hefty piece of timber. There's just, there's a whole landscape down there that we really want to. It's just not enough. We need more time. Incredible sight. Nothing like it in the country.
All of the artefacts that were lifted from the seabed are now in the National Oceanography Centre in Southampton, and our roving archaeologist Nisha McSweeney is visiting their labs.
Excavating an underwater prehistoric site has its challenges, but piecing the finds back together is a whole new headache. So, Gary, what are we doing today?
Well, these boxes contain all the artefacts, all the parts of the platform that we lifted. They've been in cold storage. We're going to get them right now and we're going to reconstruct them.
Oh, water's cold.
So we keep them cold and dark and in fresh water to minimise the degradation and to keep them stable for as long as possible. We've got to spend time analysing it and recording it. And only when we've done that we can extract the information that will tell us about these people.
Well, what that basically is say like when a mummy is wrapped up and its coffin was lifted off for the first time in over 1,000 years, and think of the air would it would rot, and it would rot in the bones.
The structure is one thing. There's also how are they doing it, and how are they converting trees into different sorts of plants.
Like that scene in Indiana Jones.
So all these questions will come.
When he used the knife and he unwraps his face of that guy in that tomb, his face rotted. So it's hard to keep things preserved to stop them from rotting when they've been in that environment for 1,000 years or more.
Possibly 20 smudge. That's a big bit. It's a big bit. It's a puzzle, and I'm puzzled because it's not just there. It's layers. It's underneath, over each other, kind of interweave. It's the whole kind of interlocking, interlacing puzzle-tastic platform.
In trying to put the platform back together, it's apparent to me that this was a well thought out and complicated piece of engineering, with multiple layers all carefully cut and fitted together.
This was a pre-settlement phase, and yet you wouldn't expect it from Mesolithic people from together, so it's just incredible to see it.
No, you thought they just ran around, broke twigs off and built
Yeah.
lean-tos and killed the odd animal, but here they were building these complicated structures.
Proper carpentry.
Very complicated. As we're finding out.
Despite what seemed to be an insurmountable challenge, we managed to piece back together the 8,000-year-old Mesolithic wooden platform.
Beautiful. There it is. Is this the first time it's all been together, reassembled since it came out of the sea?
Yeah, this is it. This is the most complete section we have. And it's well, to me, it's really impressive. It may look like just loads of bits of wood, but really, I mean, this was made by someone 8,000 years ago, laid out for a purpose we don't know because we know very little about these people.
This is just one part of a massive set of platforms still lying underwater.
We can then start looking at some of the detail on some of the timbers and how they relate to each other, and try and use that to help sort of interpret the building method.
The platform is a unique find that has advanced our understanding of our nomadic Mesolithic ancestors, clearly showing that they built permanent structures.
The intricacy of this whole platform, this whole structure, has actually been really surprising. The process of putting it back together has helped me to understand the process of how it must have been made, and it was so carefully, beautifully made. It's absolutely jaw-dropping.
Slime. Now, stealthy. Slinky.
Ever wonder how your favourite toys got their name?
People would throw frisbee pie tins.
The movements kind of remind her of hula dancers. And
Because the way the brush painted it, it's left like it gives like little, looks like little bristles, like of an actual flower.
Thursdays at 10 on Sky History or catch up on demand.
Buttons. So many buttons. As an expedient, you add points on your travel